Hi guys and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. I'm Farhad. If you're new to this channel then please smash that subscribe button now. We are still about 500 odd subscribers away from the 2k mark, the new goal of our channel. So if you're new, please smash that subscribe button and like the video. And today it is a Friday, and if it is a Friday, it means it is a new Malayalam film that I am going to be discussing. The film that I am going to be discussing is the new Rajiv Ravi film, which is called Thuramukham, which is now streaming on Sony Live. Now, there were more reasons than one that I was excited about this film. Firstly, because it is a Malayalam film, I had to be excited. Secondly, it is a casting coup. The who's who of the Malayalam industry was in this film. And thirdly, I am a fan of Rajiv Ravi, the filmmaker, as well. Of course, his movies are beautifully shot, but as a filmmaker too, he did make his mark, with films like Kuttavam Shikshayam, films like these, that have an underlying layer of politics or a socio-political issue that is running through the narrative, you can say, in the second layer, and that is his speciality. And I was really looking forward to watching what Thuramukham had to offer. I had to do a little reading before watching the film because this was based on true events. This was based on the 1953 Mutton Cherry, I hope I'm getting the name right, Mutton Cherry Harbor massacre, or the protests that were happening in 1953, and that is what the film was based on. So I would recommend you, to all my viewers, to read a little about the incident before getting into the film. I'll explain to you why in the subsequent minutes of this review. So coming to the story and screenplay, Thuramukham is essentially a story of two brothers who are at opposite ends of the spectrum as far as the local issue of the worker unions are concerned. But would they, be cordial with their relationship? How would they land and stand the test of time? That is what the film has to offer. Now, the story here is intriguing because it is based on a true event. Now, this is something that I really like about films. It helps me gain perspective, it helps me get to know certain instances from the chapters of history which are lost in our history textbooks. There was absolutely no reference of this 1953 protest slash massacre that had happened in Mattancherry. It's off the coast of Kerala, near Kochi, you can say, and that is where the film is set in as well. And I was reading about it, and it did give me a lot of insights about the worker unions that were formed at the time and the politics of the drama. I think it's important to understand the politics of the drama to truly grasp this film in its entirety, and that is where I think the story demands your attention. The screenplay here, standing at 165 minutes, it is a long, daunting task to begin with, but it is an immersive experience as well. So the more you dig into the drama, the more you are going to be enjoying the drama that is there. But before that, do read up about the events, because otherwise you might be lost in its narrative, considering that this is a slow burn, and it is easy for you to get distracted as well. So to be focused, you need to understand the context of the drama, the politics of the drama. So you need to understand these aspects, and so you need to do a little reading before getting into this film. Very important. So here, one thing that I did like about the drama instantly was the defining two timelines that were there. The first 20 odd minutes were almost like a prelude, in typical Malayalam template, Malayalam style writing that is there. They did a lot of world building that was there, with the use of monochrome. It was shot in monochrome, which is black and white, and it did introduce you to the place and the characters that were there, the establishment and the politics. Everything was laid out in that 20 minutes that were there. So the workers that were there, they were subjected to atrocities, and they weren't allowed to question the establishment, which seems kind of familiar, doesn't it? But they did have to really fight to even work. There was a penny or so to say a copper metal that was flicked in the air, and though the lucky ones, the workers that were there, lucky ones who would get that metal were allowed to work. And that was the, I think, the politics of that area that was there. And I think that did set the context very well for the things to follow. The proceedings here are engrossing and, immersive in many ways, particularly when the not a flashback, but when the timelines jump. There's a timeline jump that is there, in which you are introduced to a fresh set of characters, and they have fresh motivations. The politics of the area is intact, but the locals that are brought up against the test of time, they are brought up in an area that is reeking of violence, and that is something that makes the drama even more flavorful and layered. Again, you need to do a little reading about the politics of that area, because that was the time when the worker unions were getting set up, and there were a couple of other worker unions that were there who were directly affiliated with the government, thereby making the others a little detested with their presence. And that is something that the fight was about. The politics is important to understand the context once again. But the boring lines are, etched out very well, and it makes for compelling drama, so to say. The character motivations and the character traits are very important, and that is something that is very well etched out in this film. I really like the character motivations that were there. It is a slow burn, but it's almost fascinating to understand the character motivations behind the string of subplots and the string of events that are unfolding in that middle section of the drama. Now it is also unassuming and understated in many ways. Yes, there is a use of violence, there are slogans that are being spelt out, but the motivations are very important, and that is something that I really did like. The events leading up to that massacre, it ends with that massacre, so it leading up to the massacre is also very interesting, and the shifting mindset of the power tussles that are there is so subtle that it might seem sudden to you, but it was always moving, it was always shifting. The power tussle mindset that was there, the final impact, the final finale act is also impactful, but I would have ideally liked it to be a little more in your face, to have that kind of impact to finish the film. But otherwise, I really enjoyed the writing of the film, which was fresh, it was understated, and it was politically driven, so to say. The narrative was, the politics of the area was in the second layer, and I really enjoyed that. It is a niche, by the way, it may not be liked by everyone, but yeah, I did end up liking it. Coming to the technical aspects, the dialogues, music, and the direction, I felt the dialogues are gritty and very hard hitting. They make for a solid impact. The music too, it is textured and almost like off tuned, so to say, slightly to begin with. That represents chaos in the film. It is slightly off tuned. It's not you, when you hear it, you would seem like, no, it's not completely to tune, but that is deliberately done to represent chaos. Similarly with the BGM as well, there's a sense of, what do you say, that melancholy or sadness that is there in that music, almost like a cry, you can say, an inherent cry of loss, and that is something that is represented to the music. The cinematography is excellent, as in any other Rajiv Ravi film. You start with that monochrome and then get to technicolor, and that was a good decision to represent the two timelines. And the frames are such that it almost demands you to be immersive in the moving watching experience, so to say. Director Rajiv Ravi does a fascinating job here as well. He's excellent and does a brilliant job in constructing a world, and making the audience familiar with the politics of the area without having a hidden agenda as such. It is up to the audience to immerse themselves in the drama, and how much they want to immerse themselves, and that is the, I think, the victory of the director, I would say, although it does make it niche as well. Coming to the performances, I feel the performances are absolutely smashing. Purnima, Indrajit Sukumaran, all of them do a fabulous job. George is there in that first 20 minutes. Massive screen presence again as such. Sudev Nair very well, pulled off his role here. Even Darshana was there, one of my favorite actors in the Malayalam film industry. Darshana did a fabulous job here, excellent job here. Even Nimisha Sajayan was there, brilliant job, excellent job. But the stars, two stars of the show definitely were Arjun Ashokan and Nivin Pauly. Both of them are fabulous. Arjun Ashokan has such expressive eyes, and there's a streak of innocence to his character that almost makes you root for him. There's a sincerity that is there. Nivin Pauly is fiery from the outset and not and in a character that is not very likable. He's not a very likable character, but there is something in his performance, some sincerity, some endurance that is there that almost makes you gravitate towards him, you can say. I think that's the right word, gravitate towards his character. Although is not a very likable character, superbly performed, excellent job done in the acting department by every single actor. So overall, Thuramukham, which stands for harbour in Malayalam, is one of the epic sagas which end up being massive. Their epic proportions, absolutely brilliant in their storytelling and the performance. Although niche in many ways, it comes with my highest recommendation. It is another landslide victory from the Malayalam film industry and absolutely recommended. It is streaming on Sony Live. If you watch the film, let me know your thoughts on the film, good or bad, anything. I'm happy to reply as long as it's a healthy discussion. If you're liking this video, please smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Press that bell icon. It helps you know when I'm coming with a new video. Also helps a small subscriber like me, and it helps to grow the YouTube algorithm that is there. Share this video with your friends and family. Also, if you'd like to read my full review of Thuramukham on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, the link of which is in the description box below. Do visit that as well. Show your love on my website as well. Also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Letterboxd. All links are in the description box below. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. So all information is present on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, and on my social media handles. I will see you again tomorrow with another video. This time it is a comparative analysis. So stay tuned. Until then, thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers and take care of yourselves. Take care.